Amanda from Pontes Books here with the vocabulary focus for chapter 14 of The Prince and the Pauper. Today we are taking a look at a word that has many different meanings, which I say that about a lot of our words, but this is one that you could have a lot of different concrete meanings in different subject areas. Today we are taking a look at the word degree. So I would say the most common thing that comes to mind when you say that would maybe be like temperatures that people would think of. So we're actually not looking at that meaning for the word. I don't think that comes up in The Prince and the Pauper at all. I don't think he ever talks about the temperature using degrees, but more relates to kind of levels of things. So definition, the amount to which something is present. There weren't really any specific facts or characteristics that make this word unique that I could come up with at the moment. But so some examples, in other words, kind of synonyms in this case, the level or the extent. So I like to think about it as like a level. And in this case, most of the time, it's not talking about a physical substance and talking about the level. It's more of an abstract level. So some non-examples that go along with the word degree, but not in the way that we're looking at it, would be like degrees in a circle, and then temperature degrees. So those are meanings for the words, but not in the case that we are using them in The Prince and the Pauper. So looking at the etymology here from Latin, we can break it down for di or day, meaning down, and gradus, meaning a step. So it goes down in steps or levels, kind of like what we think about when we think about levels, is them kind of going steps. Using it in a sentence, our straightforward sentence, to some degree or to some level, like I said, all people have likely lied at some point in their life. So some people, their level of lying might be very high because they do it a lot, or it was a really big lie. Some people, their level might be smaller. So same thing, degree, level in this case. And here's our sentence from the chapter. A secretary made report that for as much as the late king had provided in his will for conferring the ducal degree upon the Earl of Hertford. So in royal life, they were all about this hierarchy of, whatever your title was, you were above this person and that person was above this person, the different levels. So in this case, the ducal degree, that was like the level of being a duke. So he was the Earl of Hertford. And then in his will, he had said that I want to make him duke level now, if that makes sense. And then the only other thing really, degrees, in terms of a noun, when we talk about like a graduation degree, that's something that's also kind of related to this as well, because that's the level of education that you get to. That's your degree is your level, your level of education, I guess. So we'll take a look at those a little bit more here. Some different types of degrees. If we look at kind of more modern day, at least in the United States, we don't really use titles as a kind of leveling system anymore. The only exception is sometimes when you're in certain professions, you can get promoted to a higher title. So like in the military, there's a lot of different levels that go all the way up. And you can see the same, in like a police department, you have detective, you have sergeant. So there are different things that are used specifically, but some of the more universally understood, if you're not in that particular profession, would be degrees related to education. So we have an associate degree. So that's usually a 2-year commitment at a community college, a junior college, or a technical school. Then you would have your associate's degree. Then there's your bachelor's degree, which is usually a 4-year commitment. And most private, public, online colleges and universities offer bachelor's degrees. Then you have a master's degree, which is usually a commitment of 1 to 3 years. And, kind of takes you beyond that bachelor's degree. And then a doctoral degree, which is also called a terminal degree, because that's kind of as high as it goes. You can get multiple doctoral degrees, but there's not really anything above that. So that's when you then get the title of doctor of whatever it is that you were studying. So that's the word degree. Hopefully you learned something. Have a good rest of your day.